Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to PSP Projects Q1 FY22 Results Conference Call hosted by Ambit Capital. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Varun Ginodia from Ambit Capital. Thank you and over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Aisha. And good afternoon, everyone. And I hope everyone is keeping in good health in these unprecedented times. Today, we are pleased to host the management of PSP Projects for 1Q FY22 earnings call. From the management, we have Mr. P.S. Patel, Chairman, Managing Director and CEO. And Mrs. Hetal Patel, Chief Financial Officer. In terms of the format of the call, the management will give the brief remarks on the results release, and then we will open the floor to Q&A. Sir, over to you.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is P.S. Patel, Chairman, Managing Director and CEO of PSP Projects Limited. Along with me is Ms. Hetal Patel, our CFO. Welcomes you all to this earnings conference call, which is focusing on our company's performance in Q1 FY 2022. First of all, I hope you all are safe at the place and taking care of yourself and your family. As we are meeting on this call within a very short gap of almost 1 month from our last call of Q4 FY 21 results, operationally, I think there is not much to share as I had covered all the areas in the previous call. However, I am covering few of the updates. Revenue. Company has booked the revenue from operations of rupees 317.35 crore in Q1 FY22, which is about 197% higher compared to year on year. As you know that the first 2 quarters of previous year were badly affected due to beginning of COVID, lockdowns, worker migration, etc. This is... Hello? Hello?
Sir, you can go ahead. We are able to hear you.
For reception. This is for the biggest Q1 revenue we have achieved, but we believe that this could have been higher, but once again the operations were affected due to the second wave of COVID.
You have to cancel for it? No, already line चालू है यहाँ पे. हाँ. तो करके कर volume आ रहा है. Sorry.
This is by far the highest Q1 revenue we have achieved, but we believe that this could have been higher, but once again the operations were affected due to the second wave of COVID. Most of the laborers who generally goes to their village during Holi didn't return back till end of May. Also, there were partial lockdowns, night working restrictions, reduced staff working, etc., which has impacted the operations in Q1. The situation now is really very well, and I would say all the sites are working with 100% labor strength. We are very optimistic that the upcoming quarter should be good if the obstacle of third wave or something else disturbs the operations. Order book. At the end of Q1 FY 2022, company stands with the order book of 3,852.21 crore. As informed in the last call, all the projects are fully mobilized and work is going on with full swing except 2 projects. And third is UP Medical College and Hospital. As informed in the previous call, the designs are getting approved by very aggressively, and the physical progress of 5 sites have started from first week of July. Remaining 2 sites are fully mobilized in terms of plant and machinery and manpower, just waiting for the design clearance, which should be completed by end of this month. So these are the key highlights from my side. For detailed financial disclosures, I will request our CFO, Ms. Hetal Patel, to take it forward. Thank you everyone to be a part of this call.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone, and welcome on the call. Let me first give you highlights on standalone financial results for the quarter ended on 30/21. Company has booked revenue of rupees 317.35 crores for the quarter ended on 30th June 21. The revenue generated from Surat project was rupees 92 crores. I think, are we audible?
Yes, yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Okay. Revenue generated from Surat project was rupees 92 crores during this quarter. Cumulative revenue till 30th June 21 is rupees 1,486 crores booked for Surat project. EBITDA for the quarter is 39 crores, which is 12.42% of the revenue from operations. Net profit for the quarter is arrived at rupees 25.11 crores, which is 7.82% of the total revenue. There is no change in revenue for the year ended on consolidated basis. Net profit as per consolidated financials is rupees 24.91 crores, which is 7.76% of the total revenue. Total expenditure incurred for the precast unit is rupees 85 crores till 30th June 2021. Working capital days on the standalone basis are as follows. Debtor days are 82, creditor days are 52, and inventory days are 25. During the quarter, company has increased credit facility limit from 610 crores to 1,047 crores. Out of total credit facility of 1,047 crores, utilized limit is 551 crores, of which 120 crores are fund-based utilization and 431 crores is non-fund-based utilization. Work on hand as on 30th March 21, 30th June 21 is 3,852 crores, which comprises of 289 crores for Surat Diamond Bourse project. As on 30th June 21, the company had total fixed deposit of 220 crores, out of which free deposits of rupees 73 crores, FD worth rupees 140 crores are under lien with banks for credit facilities, and FDs given to client as security deposits amounts to rupees 7 crores. The increase in fixed deposit is attributable to the receipt of mobilization during the first quarter from couple of projects. With this, I end up giving key highlights on the company's financial performance, and now we are open for the question and answer session. So request the moderator to take it forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and one on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and two. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Chintan Sheth from Sameeksha Capital. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yeah, little bit louder, please.
Sure, Prahlad bhai. Good set of numbers, sir. Managing margins as well, that is commendable. Couple of updates, sir. Bhiwandi, what is the update there? Then UP already you mentioned, and anything you want to talk about the bid pipeline and the outlook, if you can, for this year.
Regarding bid pipeline, it is again ranging in the range of about 3,000 crore as a whole. And about Bhiwandi, yeah, the matter is in the court and they are going to file their answer. So we are waiting for the matter to go on hearing.
So when is the next hearing now?
Yeah? Next hearing, I think 26th of July.
26th. Okay. And in the bid pipeline, anything, any large projects, Google is still there?
Yeah. Still the bid book is in the range of 3,000 crore, and most of the projects are what we declared and discussed in the last phone call.
Right.
On the same line. Yeah.
Sure, sir. I'll join back in queue. Thank you and all the very best.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Sita Raman from Spark Capital. Please go ahead.
Hello. Thank you. Can you give me the receivables, including retention and unbilled revenue for the quarter ending?
Sorry, can you please repeat the question because it was not audible?
Okay. Can you give the receivables, including retention and unbilled revenue at the end of quarter one?
See, receivables is just a minute. Retention is around 99 crores in total, and receivable is 281 crores.
Okay. And the unbilled revenue part?
Unbilled revenue is also in the range of in line with last year only. There is no significant change.
Last year.
What is the what does it currently stand at the end of first quarter? At the end of first quarter, where does it stand? The unbilled revenue part.
Unbilled revenue?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Just a minute.
Thank you. Reminder to the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and one now. The next question from the line of Kaushal Shah from Dhanki Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for the opportunity. Sir, just wanted a clarification on the UP projects. You are saying the design, etc., is under approval. So when do we actually start work on the ground, and will we start billing from maybe the October quarter, or it could actually start even in the current quarter, the second quarter?
No, I said 5 projects we have already started work on ground, and on 2 projects the design is in the process of approval. So 5 projects we have already started, and yes, we will book the revenue in this quarter only, next quarter only.
Okay, great. This was helpful. Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and one now. The next question is from the line of Aditya Khushri from PSP Project. Please go ahead.
Yes. Thank you for taking my question. First of all, sir, congratulations for a decent set of numbers. Sir, I had 2 questions. One is, is there any execution issues right now going on in any project? And my second question would be, what would be the revenue projection and EBITDA for the current financial year? As now the scenario is open, so if you can just throw some light on that.
See, as far as the revenue is concerned, it will be in the line with the same every year what we say, the growth about 25 to 30%, and it will be in the same range what we have done last year. So we can expect 25 to 30% growth from that revenue. And related to any other project which is have a work issue, that was the Bhiwandi project, and one second is this Pandharpur project. Pandharpur project, we have to slow down the project because there is no payment, and Bhiwandi, you are aware that it is in the court.
Okay, so sir, 25 to 30% revenue growth before the previous year from pandemic, right, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Thank you, sir, and all the best.
Thank you. A reminder to the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and one now. The next question is from the line of Shravan Shah from Dolat Capital Markets. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Sir, just a clarification. The previous guy, you said 25 to 30% revenue growth on FY21 numbers or FY20 numbers?
FY21.
21. So that comes to close to 1600 even if I take 30%, because last time we have talked about around 1700 to 1800 crore revenue. So it is lower. So are we slightly lowering what we said last month in the call?
We are not lowering. On to the conservative side, we are saying it should be in the range of 25 to 30%. And every year, whatever figures we say, it is almost every time we try to do better than what we expect.
Okay. Sir, here just to reiterate in terms of the STB, now 290 odd crores is remaining. So this quarter, that is the July to September, can we see because this quarter we are seeing only 92 crores. So now can we see a 150 crores plus, and by third quarter it would be a zero in terms of the order book?
See, as far as the overall revenue coming from SDB is concerned, I would say it will be somewhere in the range of 60 to 70% will be closed in this quarter only, but maybe about 30% revenue may be left after this quarter, because there are few issues related to possession, there are few issues related to commissioning, and there are few percentage old due to commissioning. So Mota, you can consider 60 to 70% revenue, left of revenue should be booked in the next quarter, and rest of the revenue may go in the last quarter.
And for UP projects, now as we have started the work, so if you can broadly, roughly idea, because 1491 crore total order book, so per month it is 83 crore. So this quarter, can we see a 150 odd crore kind of a revenue, because it is just a quarter, and the third quarter can we see a normal 80 crore per month, so that is around 250 crore a quarter?
As far as the monsoon is going on and there is a heavy rains in UP as of now, and at the same time when we are in the plains, the volume cannot be generated in this first quarter only. So we can see a reasonable revenue in the third quarter only.
Okay, so this quarter it would be a much lower number, maybe a 50 odd crore, or can it be 100 crore?
Now we can't see 100 crore in this quarter for UP. So presently we have started only 5 projects, and we are expecting other two projects to start by end of July. So in excavation, there are two activities which is going on: excavation and the RCC up to clean, and which is always a time-consuming job. Once you are out of clean, you can have a set of numbers as what we planned.
Okay, got it. And sir, a couple of things in terms of the balance sheet numbers. The left one is mobilization advance. Ma'am, how much is mobilization advance?
Yeah.
It is 10%. Presently we have
no ma'am. Sir, I was saying as on June, last time it was 31 crore. So now what is the outstanding mobilization advance number?
100 crores. 100 crores. Because this quarter, two project mobilization advance. One is the residential project, and the UP project also we received around 60 crores.
Okay, and cash and bank balances?
Yeah, I have already mentioned. Mainly we are.
Your voice was not clear, so that's what I was asking again.
Yeah, total FDs currently is 220 crores. So
Okay.
that includes the receipt of mobilization advance. We have kept it FDs, and we'll be utilizing the overdraft facility as and when required. So out of 220 crores, the free FD is around 73 crores.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Okay. That's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Prem Khurana from Anand Rathi. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for taking my question. So two questions. So one was, I think in your opening remarks, you said the utilization of our fund-based limits is around 120 odd crore rupees, which appears to be higher on a sequential basis. Whereas when I look at scale of operation, we've done lower revenue sequentially. I understand, I mean, there's a seasonality which would have kind of played out during the quarter. But was wondering if you could explain why this increase was there in utilization of fund base, because as I see it, you've also been able to manage good amount of mobilization advances from these UP orders as well as your residential. So if you could help me understand what is the total debt and why did the utilization of fund base limits go up in this quarter?
See, I have already mentioned the fund-based facility total facility has been increased, and as on 30th June, the fund-based utilization of 120 crores was there.
Sure.
And you can see, you said that mobilization was received, but we are keeping that separately for those projects. And the fund-based utilization is mainly used for working capital as well as procurement of some of the assets. As we have not taken any specific project finance for precast, so we are utilizing for that also.
Okay, so fair to assume the increase that we have seen on a sequential basis is not because of the business operation, but because of precast facility, incremental capex that you would have done during the quarter?
You can say, yes.
Sure. And also, ma'am, on this precast, given the fact that we've already spent 85 crore, which is, essentially, we've spent a large part of the money that we were supposed to spend for this facility. Have we started engaging with the clients now, because it is the facility is nearing completion? So the idea would be to kind of don't let it sit idle. The idea would be the day I finish it, I get to have some works wherein I would be able to utilize this facility. So have we started engaging with the clients for works which would be carried out on precast basis?
Yeah, we have started going into inquiry. We have almost near to closing of inquiries to two of the people, which may happen very maximum within this month. So
Sure.
We'll be having some work as and when it is concluded within the next week or maybe next 2 weeks from here.
Sure.
So there are two projects on which we are discussing on. And
Sure.
one is I'm more hopeful that it will be concluded in a week or so.
Sure. And sir, since we are already engaging with the clients, if you could share your thoughts on the margin. I think last time you said the margin could be slightly lower than the conventional method of construction because of the raw material that we would be required to use. So margin would be, you still believe that the margin would be lower, or it still could be in line with what we be doing?
It will be in the same range what we expect in the construction business. So that the cost of the material, it is always a pass-through. Whenever we bid for any project in precast also, we will try to quote through base rates only, because this is cement and reinforcement basic raw material for the precast. So that has to be passed through, and usually the trend is the same. So we will be bidding as and when we bid for any precast elements, it will be on a base rate. So there won't be any impact of rates going up because of market opportunity.
Sure. And any more mobilization advances expected from UP? How much would be the balance from UP that you are yet to realize?
See, 5% we have already received. One project is remaining. Other 6 projects we have received 5%, and balance will be received when the stage comes. Means we have to provide them bank guarantees, and then they'll be giving us mobilization advance for this.
And just one last, if I may, with your permission, on this Maharashtra projects, Bhiwandi and Pandharpur, I think our experience has not been that great. We started with Pandharpur, we were going good, but suddenly, it has come to a stage wherein we were going a little slow on this, and Bhiwandi we still don't have the work front available. So when we approach, these kind of orders in the future, what are the checks and balances that you would want in place to be able to make sure that you don't get to have similar kind of situation in the future? Because we've spent time on this, we put in efforts, but then some of these efforts have yet to bear fruit. So which is where the idea was to try and understand what are the changes that you would.
Check points is more related to the market over there and the department on which it is being constructed. See, if it is from the state government directly and it makes a difference, and it is from a corporation or another Nagarpalika, it makes a difference. So we have to be careful while choosing, and at the same time we have to be careful in terms of location also. You can see that there is a difference between the government who is operating and the central government who is operating. So that's also one of the issues, that these types of projects are not being handled properly.
Okay. Sure, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Devashish Mazumdar from Edelweiss. Please go ahead.
Hi team, thank you very much for taking my question, and congratulations on a very good set of execution. So my first question is to Prahlad Bhai. Sir, wanted to understand that how is the demand scenario in the market in the macro perspective, Are you seeing very high competitive, intense bidding, or you are seeing that bidding?
Sir, please louder. We are not able to hear you anything.
Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So the question that I have was, in the macro scenario, how is the bidding situation, sir? Are you seeing very aggressive bidding from the competition, or the bidding scenario is light? And the second is whether there are sufficient amount of projects for everybody to lap up. So definitely the intensity is lower. So any color on that side, sir?
See, as far as bidding is concerned, that I personally feel if the competition is niche, there won't be any aggressive bidding. And it again depends on type of project and the type of qualifying criteria. And as I always say that we are always going a little bit conscious on the bidding side, and we are not too much aggressive and whatever maybe the bidding other people are doing. And as such, I don't see any aggressive bidding on all of the projects. Maybe at some of the projects like airports and some such types of projects, then most of the companies are qualifying. So there may be that person can aggressive bidding over there, but as far as general projects where we are bidding, we don't see that aggressive bidding.
Okay. So what is the target of order inflow that you have in your mind for FY22, sir?
So that will be in the range of the same revenue what we do, at least minimum 25 to 30% more to our revenue what we are expecting this year.
Okay,
so
great.
Minimum 1,800 to 2,000 crore.
Okay, great. So basically we are saying that from 3,000 crores of bid pipeline that we are chasing, we are confident that at least 1,500 to 1,800 crores of conversion from that pipeline.
Yeah, this 3,000 crore bid book is on present stage. Still we have left about 9 months. So let us hope for the bids.
Okay, great. The second question is from Hital ma'am. Ma'am, you have said that the receivable number is around 281 crores, which is around 20 crores of increase sequentially. So I'm trying to get some sense that is there any specific where money is getting stuck, or it's just because of the lockdown and macro challenges which will be normalized going forward?
No, actually there are no specific
तुम्ही ज्या व्यक्तीशी बोलत आहात त्याने तुमच्या कॉलला
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, see, mainly some of the payments which we were supposed to receive in last week of June that got received in, that is the main difference. If we see by 15th of July, we have already received around 88 crores of outstanding. So
Okay.
there is no significant amount which is being stuck. So it's just a matter of 1 week pendency in collection. That's it.
Understood.
Normally,
Yes.
with the Surat ad hoc advance in last week of in the week of submission of leave, that was received in first week of July.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you for the clarification. Thank you very much and best of luck.
Thank you. A reminder to the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and one now. The next question is from the line of Dhananjay Mishra from Sunidhi Securities and Finance Limited. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for taking my question. Most of questions are answered. Just wanted to know, yeah, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah.
Actually, there is much disturbance is coming in the line.
Okay. You are hearing background noise?
Yeah, background. Yeah, there is a background noise.
Just one question I'm asking. Just one question. Sir, can you see any delay because of UP election year? So any delay happening in education in UP medical project?
No. There is no such delay noticed.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. We will request the participants to please press star and one to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Jiten Rushi from Axis Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Jiten Rushi from Axis Capital. Sir, one question on the bid pipeline. So as you said, you are expecting an order inflow of 3,000 crores So, sir, what is the outstanding bid as on date, and when can we expect the opening of this bid? And can you highlight on which segments we have bidded for?
Sorry, actually there was urgent call which needs to be attended for PS Patel sir. So I think a bid pipeline is around 3,000 crores.
Okay. So any project specific can you highlight? When can we expect few projects, the opening of the bids? So we can just any update on that, ma'am? Or
no, actually currently we don't have that status, but it's ongoing process. So this much is under bidding. So as and when means pre-qualification stage and final stage comes, award will be there.
So this time, ma'am, this 3,000 crore is mostly from Gujarat, or we are trying to bid outside Gujarat also, like we did in UP and other states?
Yeah, it's around 70 only.
70% is Gujarat. Okay.
Yes.
And ma'am, what is the outstanding gross debt number as on June?
Yeah, if you see, I've already mentioned means the current facility which we have utilized, current borrowing is 120 crores.
120 crore. Okay. Yeah. And ma'am, on the Central Vista, has the bidding started, or we expect this to get delayed further by 3 to 6 months? Where we can qualify now to bid independently after Surat projects, we are targeting to get over by August, September, right? We'll get the qualification certificate for that.
No, still we are not being qualified because of this non-completion of Surat project, so we haven't bid it yet.
So Surat we are targeting to complete by August, right? From August we are targeting to complete, right? Surat project.
No, see, sir has already mentioned this. There will be stage of finalization, so it may extend to the third quarter also.
Okay, ma'am. That's it from my side. Thank you and all the best.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. We would request the participants to please press star and 1 to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Dhruv Bhimrajka from Monarch AIF. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, ma'am. Ma'am, I just have one question regarding our EBITDA margin. So, like we have posted around 12.4% EBITDA for this first quarter. So, what is the range of EBITDA that you expect for this financial year FY22?
See, as we are normally saying that it will range between 12 to 13% of the revenue. It may range between 11.5 to 13%.
Sorry, 12 to 13%? Okay. Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. I'll come back and let you. Hello.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Amber Singhania from Asian Market Securities. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Hi, Ethel ma'am. Hi, sir. Just one clarification wanted to understand regarding the previous question. So you mentioned Surat Diamond Boards will get completed by Q3 FY22, right?
Maximum, yeah, Q3.
And sir, so in that case, are we not eligible entirely for bidding of Central Vista, any of the packages now?
That depends on again the pre-qualifying criteria. If they allow for 90% substantial completion, we may qualify.
Okay, and what is the timeline for Central Vista, sir? When it is expected to come for bidding and tendering?
So that we cannot envisage today how they are going to get all the tenders. So, but presently we can say out of 20,000 crores of project, 3,000, 1,004, almost 5,000 crore order has tenders have came up. So still there is a hope of 13 to 14,000 crores of work to come.
Okay. So it all depends on whether they allow 90% completion to consider for bidding or not. Secondly, how fast we will be completing the Central Vista, right, sir? Sorry, Surat Diamond Boards.
Yeah.
Fine, sir. Sir, apart from Central Vista, could you name few large projects which are coming or which are already there in the pipeline on bidding side or which are coming in next 6 to 8 months?
See, as I said that we have a bid book of about 3,000 crore. The major is Gujarat Housing Board about 750 crore. And there are few projects from Adani Airports over 300 to 400 crore. There are few projects from Adani Commercial also. And one more project, I think, Medical College at Amity, that is about 250 crore. We are also bidding to AMNS, Ashler and Mittal, that is about 300 crore. But most of the projects which we are bidding presently is in the range of 300 to 400 crore, and exception that is Chamkheda Gujarat Housing Board project, that is more than 700 crore.
Got it, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. We would request the participants to please press star and 1 to ask a question. As there are no further questions from the
If there is no question from anybody's side, let us conclude the call.
Sure. Mr. Varun Ginodia, I would request you to please have any closing comments you'd like to. Varun, your line is in talk mode.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Aisha, and thank you, sir, and thank you, ma'am, for patiently answering the questions. And I really apologize for the background noise that was there, some disturbance in the call.
Yeah, that was a major disturbance today.
Really sorry for that. And I'll hand over the call to you for any closing remarks, sir.
No, thanks to all of you, and stay safe and take care.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. On behalf of Ambit Capital, that concludes this conference. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and you may now disconnect your line.